This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Good morning and welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Circle City Broadcasting is committed to the development of programs that foster diversity, equity, and inclusion. To that end, this show speaks directly to entrepreneurs and small business owners to provide useful and necessary information to start and run a successful small business. With guidance from local business owners, educators, community leaders from our area, we seek to provide timely and accurate advice that you'll find helpful as you develop your business. We've created 7 segments, all designed to cover the important topics that a small business may encounter and offer encouragement and inspiration from other business owners. Each week we look at getting your business started, how to access necessary capital, accounting and bookkeeping tips, thoughts on running your business day to day, news through This Week in Business, and always a dose of inspiration from a local success story. Join us every week here on WISH-TV or catch the live stream on WISH-TV.com. You can also share all of our content on demand at BE&OShow.com. Our site grows every week with more content, more resources, more information. Sign up for our newsletter, which is updated every Tuesday, and check out the BE&O podcast. Listen and subscribe so you won't miss a minute. If you have any topics you think we should cover, or if you'd like to be part of the show, we welcome your emails. Coming up on today's Business, Equity, and Opportunities, we meet an online influencer, local man, who explains why your business plan should include a detailed strategy for presenting yourself through social media. In our accounting and bookkeeping segment, we find out how to access resources that can help you set up and keep your company finances in order. And today's industry focus, we visit one of the country's premier African-American newspapers to find out how the award-winning Indianapolis-based publication continues to be a voice for and advocate of the community. We like to start each show at the beginning of your journey with a segment we call Getting Started. Each week, this segment focuses on things you should consider and prepare for as you begin planning your business. Depending on that business, your plan may need to include a strategy for digital influencers. A recent report in Forbes says more than 50 million people around the world now consider themselves influencers. By any name, content creators can have a huge impact on a small business.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting Started.
Jeremy Stevens is the owner of DYC Fitness. He's a local fitness and lifestyle influencer. He's been creating digital content for years and now finds himself helping other businesses bring their brands to life.
So what it takes to get started on social media is, I know this sounds cliche, but it's to start. We thrive on consistency in the gym, and it's the same way on social media. You have to be consistent. You have to be interacting with your followers. You have to be interacting with the people who you do follow as well, commenting, liking, letting them know that you're actually a real person and you're here to give value at the end of the day. People are only going to follow you if you're giving some sort of value, whether it's entertainment, whether it's fitness motivation, whether it's financial motivation or knowledge. Somebody is following you for a reason, and you have to continue to be consistent with that in order for you to be attractive, A, to followers, and B, to brands. What brands are looking for at the end of the day are people who are marketable. Just because somebody has a lot of followers does not mean that they're marketable. They're looking for certain things, certain items that you possess, certain characteristics that you and your page possess in order to see if it kind of fits in the big master puzzle piece for their brand. And also content interaction. If somebody has a lot of followers and they literally don't get any likes at all, any comments, any interaction, that just tells the brand that, hey, he's just a pretty face, he's just this, he's just that, he's not for us, because quite frankly, he's not reaching his followers that he does have. How's he going to help us in the long run if we're trying to sell this product? So you have to be marketable, you have to be relatable, you have to, again, capture the attention of the followers that you do have more than anything. Influencer marketing is huge because we have such a big reach. In Indiana, for instance, there's not a lot of male influencers especially, so when we do post something or we do say something on social media, it holds a lot of weight. People will perk their ears up and, oh, what did Jeremy just say? What is Jeremy promoting? So the fact that, brands do reach out to me and I'm able to promote, it's because I have so much weight behind my name on social media where I have people's attention. So I think it's very important from an entrepreneur standpoint, if you have it in your budget, reach out to the influencers that you know, because again, what they say has a lot of weight behind it, and that's why they call them influencers, because they can influence thousands and thousands of people. Especially, it depends on your demographic. My demographic, probably, about my age. I'm 31, so we attract people for anywhere from the ages of 23 to, I would say, 55. So I would say Instagram for sure. Also Facebook, never neglect that. Now granted, I'm primarily do most of my social media marketing and influencer life is definitely on Instagram, but I would also not neglect Facebook, because my parents' generation, they're definitely on Facebook too, and they want to listen, they want to get fit, and they want to hear about all these different brands that are happening as well. So and then of course TikTok, I would say that's more of a Gen Z thing for sure, which is the generation right below me, but I think they're all valuable because they all have the potential to reach thousands and millions of people. So I think that they are all important. So many people are on their phones constantly, and less people are, listening to radio stations, watching TV ads, stuff like that. So as we continue to progress, social media will only become that much of a juggernaut, if that makes sense, if it isn't already, which is why the brands that I've worked with have reached out to me and paid me great money, and where they probably 20 years ago, they probably would have put that towards a radio ad, they would have put that towards a TV commercial, but instead they're paying the influencer because they know that they get the type of reach that they do have. So I just feel like it's all the marketing, in the next, even now to 5-10 years from now, it's strictly going to be on social media. Bringing your brand to life is everything. I personally have a videographer who I work with, simply because I want to be different than the rest. I want my content to stand out. When I post a reel or a video on Instagram, I need it to pop. So I, personally think that it's very important to get the angles, get the B-roll, make sure we're getting different shots, different angles and stuff of that nature, because again, my name already has weight, but if I put that much more effort into the actual bringing the brand to life, it's just more believable at the end of the day. I'm more trustworthy at that point. It's not just, hey, here's a picture, here's the product, buy it. It's more, okay, well, he's taking me through a whole day in the life of how when I use this product, here's how it can benefit me in the long run. He's actually taken me through a whole video. He took time on this video, and I can see how he's using it and how it's benefiting him. Maybe it can benefit me too. So I think being your true self and being authentic when bringing that brand to life is what's going to separate you from the rest, for sure. Reaching out to influencers that may not look like you is first starters. Oftentimes, especially, we may get caught up in our own head, and we may only reach out to people who we're familiar with. Why not reach out to somebody who may not look like you, but it could benefit you and others? Why not? And it not only is that you're diversifying at that point, but it's also equitable at the same time. It's only going to make your journey of entrepreneurship that much greater, because at the end of the day, when you open up a business, you're trying to reach as many people as possible and help as many people as possible, whether it's services for you that you're selling, whether you're selling products of any of that nature. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. And when you reach out to people who may not familiarize with you, quote unquote, I think that's a great way to start on social media, for sure.
If you'd like to reach out to Jeremy or any of today's contributors, visit our website, BEOshow.com. When we come back, why an angel investor might be a good option to consider. That's in our Access to Capital segment. Later, tips for recruiting and retaining the best and brightest workers. The advice comes straight from one of the state's top hospital systems. If you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us, BEO@WISH-TV.com. We'd love to hear from you. You're watching Business Equity and Opportunities, and we'll be right back.
Getting Started, made possible by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Every new business owner faces the money question, how to access capital. There are many options for entrepreneurs, but finding the one that fits your needs can take a while and be difficult. Each week in this segment, we offer some options to consider, from the tried, true, and traditional to those that are compelling but a little less conventional, like angel investors.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
Angel investors can be another source for funding a new business. Matthew Murphy III, founder of Emboss Partners, explains more about getting access to capital from angel investors. So, what are some of the most important steps you need to take to get the attention of angel investors? Matthew explains more.
In a nutshell, a typical angel investor is someone who has started and or run businesses in their careers. Typically, and they're typically successful business people who have amassed some level of wealth from that activity of their business operations and ownership, and who are passionate about assisting businesses to grow. And for that, they're seeking companies that they can invest in that either they're passionate about from an industry focus, or that they're passionate about because of the team that's assembled for that business. Angel investors typically are looking for a return on their capital that they invest in these businesses. They tend to be a little bit more patient, so we kind of define it as patient capital, but not permanent capital. Generally, the objective would be to have a liquidity event somewhere in the cycle whereby the business is able to cash out the angel investor and provide a return on that early capitalization that was provided. So they're hard to find because there's very little marketing and advertising done by angel investors to say, hey, here I am, come see me. And yet, in a community like Indianapolis and central Indiana, and really throughout the state, angel investors are kind of known to many business people, lawyers, business lawyers, accounting firms, and so it's really relationship based, and they're not looking to cast a wide net in terms of the number of kinds of companies that they're looking to invest in. They generally are looking to invest in companies that they know something about in terms of the industry exposure, and so they can, in addition to parlaying their capital, they want to be able to add value by mentorship and guidance and counsel. So angel investors are an interesting source of capital for all of those reasons. But I think at the top of the list is the mentorship, the ability to get an angel investor to spend time with an aspiring entrepreneur, to give guidance, to help solve problems, and to network, to introduce the entrepreneur to various people in all kinds of disciplines that will help their business succeed. It's an art, not science. I think it's networking. I think it's attending conferences and seminars, and I think it's going to the economic club and listening to the speakers, and then networking with those folks at your table or at other tables, and attending some of the wonderful not-for-profit organization events where a lot of the business owners and civic leaders are attending, and therein lies kind of the room full of folks who you never know what their ability to help you can be. So sometimes you don't find the angel investor, you find the person that knows the angel investor. And the networking has to be purposeful, and it has to be frequent, and it has to be sustainable, because it's never an easy search mission. It's more of a journey, so to speak. So, but I think there are folks banks and bankers and folks at the Small Business Administration, and certain law firms that specialize in business law. I think they sometimes know who those individuals are that have an interest and experience in working and investing in businesses. So I think it's just a matter of connecting the dots.
If you'd like more information about options available to access capital, visit us online, beoshow.com. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter for more resources. Up next, in This Week in Business, find out how the Procurement and Participation Task Force from Business Equity for Indy helps Black-owned businesses tap into revenue potential. Later, how one company is offering technical assistance to help you solve your bookkeeping needs. That and much more when Business Equity and Opportunities return.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunity. To help Black-owned businesses across our community reach their revenue potential, a Procurement and Participation Task Force from Business Equity for Indy has just announced quarterly roundtables. They're aimed at helping local businesses expand supplier diversity.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Stacia Murphy is Director of Equity Outreach and Strategic Partnerships for the Indy Chamber. She's been a driving force for creating a new quarterly series of roundtables to help local corporate and nonprofits expand their supplier diversity and become a resource for minority-owned businesses.
Business Equity for Indy is a joint venture between the Central Indiana Corporate Partnership, the Indy Chamber, and in collaboration with the Indianapolis Urban League. All created to advance a more equitable and inclusive Indy region for Central Indiana Black residents and other residents of color. Specifically for the Procurement and Participation Task Force, we are tasked with the goal of increasing the launch, growth, and success rates of Black-owned businesses, specifically through expanded procurement opportunities. There were so many chief procurement officers at area corporations. So our chairs are actually John Thompson of Thompson Distribution that everybody knows. He's been such a wonderful supporter of this. Craig Reed of Corteva Agriscience, who's their Vice President of Real Estate and Chief Procurement Officer, as well as Ilya Yufa, who works for Eli Lilly. And so them, along with 9 other Black-owned businesses, business support organizations, or entrepreneur services organizations, and some more supplier diversity practitioners, all came together to want to support Black-owned businesses specifically. And we started, spent several months speaking with Black-owned businesses, really getting to understand their challenges, figuring out where the opportunities were. And from all of that data collection, we started the Procurement Roundtable. The Procurement Roundtable is our premier event for the task force, and it's simply a platform for Black-owned businesses to talk about their businesses to all of the members of the roundtable. Currently, we have about 60 organizations and companies who have all decided to pledge support for Black-owned businesses. So they attend. This past one was at Corteva Agriscience, and they get to hear directly from the businesses themselves about what they do. We provide a little bit of coaching to those Black-owned businesses for their pitches, for their slide decks, and just really how to present themselves to corporations. A lot of the corporations bring their procurement people or their buyers out, and you actually get a chance not only to hear from them when they're on stage, but also to do a lot of networking with everyone in the room. Any Black-owned business who is doing about $250,000 in revenue and at least 2 employees, we think it's that emerging supplier. And all they have to do is go to our website, businessequityindy.com, and sign up for the Procurement Roundtable. So far, our very first one, we highlighted only 5 businesses just getting started. And so far, 4 out of the 5 have all entered into contracts with at least 2 of the corporations that were in attendance. A number of them have had even more conversations with businesses they've tried to get into for maybe 15 years or more. Some of them have already executed those contracts, and others have some in the hoppers. So really excited for the progress, and that was just one event. But the task force can play a huge role in doing that by supporting not only these individual businesses, but really the climate of business culture here, from everything from developing the pipeline, talking about what entrepreneurship looks like in schools, more putting resources behind these Black-owned businesses to really get them up to being contract ready. But the Brookings Institute really talked about being able to unlock almost $700 million if we were earning, so Black-owned businesses were earning on par with their white counterparts. That is a huge infusion of capital into any economy, and that's something that we could do here. And not only do we know that it would help the overall economy and everybody's business bottom line, but when we invest in Black-owned businesses, they tend to invest back into their communities. And so you see those ripple effects just by providing opportunities for them. The next roundtable will be November 17th at the Indianapolis Airport Authority. And that will be really great because you'll get to come out and hear all that we've done and all the progress over the past year. So what I would love to see is not only are we giving more multi-year, multi-dollar contracts to each of these Black-owned businesses within our community, we're creating new Black-owned businesses in areas they haven't been before, but I would also like to see the Indy region just be a leader in supplier diversity, like leading all of our peers. That's what I want to see. You know, Indiana is the champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
If you'd like to know more about the procurement roundtables or get information on how the Indy Chamber can help you meet your business goals, go to our website, BE&OShow.com. When we come back, expert advice on bookkeeping options and assistance you should know about. Later, how Eskenazi Health works to create a positive work environment to land and keep good employees. If you want more business equity and opportunities, check out our podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And you can find out how to subscribe through the link on our website, BE&OShow.com. While you're there, sign up for the BE&O newsletter and stay up to date on the latest resources. You're watching Business Equity and Opportunities, and we'll be right back.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. No matter the business, no matter the size, you'll have to handle accounting and bookkeeping. In some cases, you may want to help. Many small businesses rely on guidance to both navigate the numbers and keep them in order.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Jennifer Hall is the Executive Director of Bankable, an organization that helps provide access to affordable capital and provides coaching and technical assistance for small businesses in Indiana.
Bankable is a nonprofit mission lender who works with underserved entrepreneurs who aren't quite ready for a loan with a bank. One of the ways we help those borrowers once we have made a loan to them is through technical assistance. And we like to say that nobody works harder to lose their clients than Bankable. And the reason is that's what our name is all about. We work with those borrowers who have been declined from a bank and help them with basic financial literacy and other strategies we use to grow them to the point of being able to obtain financing from a bank. Because the bottom line is the bank can offer the most favorable rates and terms. Because we are a mission lender, we have funding to provide training and education to our borrowers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that 20% of businesses started will fail in their first year. And one of the main reasons that's cited for that failure is lack of managing their cash, not keeping track of their cash flow. And a lot of business owners operate on a very lean budget, which makes it very important, even more so, to keep track, keep updated financial transactions, and keep track of your bookkeeping. So bookkeeping is recording your financial transactions and keeping them in an organized way so that you can pull reports. Makes it easy during tax time to have a handle on your expenses and your revenue. Keep track of your cash flow, and it's extremely important if you're going to apply for a loan. Our technical assistance program focuses on 3 different areas. 1, educational resources here at the flagship Enterprise Center in Anderson. 2, credit counseling by a certified credit counselor that works with our borrowers and gives them very practical steps on how to improve their credit score. And 3, our bookkeeping program. Many entrepreneurs operate on very lean margins, and the need to keep accurate and up-to-date records is very, very important. And so we realize this, and we provide all of our entrepreneurs with a 1-year subscription to QuickBooks. We also provide them with ongoing support to implement the program and to work with them all along the way until they become comfortable and proficient in keeping their own books. One of the things that business owners don't realize is that very accurate and careful record keeping is critical in running their business. Sometimes if they don't have accurate and up-to-date records, they may not be able to make informed decisions about how to manage their cash flow, what their profit is, their cost of goods sold, the expenses that it takes to provide services to their clients. And so without accurate records, it's difficult to make informed business decisions. But the important thing to realize is it's never too late to begin keeping accurate and up-to-date records. There's lots of support and help, whether it's online or from a community development financial institution, a technical assistance provider such as Bankable. Just start somewhere. Begin to investigate a QuickBooks program, get a subscription, and then link it up to your business banking account. Keep track of transactions on a daily basis and begin to really make informed decisions about the trajectory of your business.
Still to come on Business Equity and Opportunities, ideas for creating a positive work environment that'll help you keep your best employees. That's in running your business day to day when Business Equity and Opportunities return.
Grow your business with WISH-TV's featured business directory. For less than $200 a month, be one of the limited businesses in 30 different categories, benefiting from one of the top visited websites in Indiana and Indiana's only statewide news station. Space is limited. Contact us today. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. We've given you information to help you get your business started. Now we turn to the task of running your business day to day. Bigger the dreams, the larger the staff you may end up needing. But perhaps now more than ever, finding and keeping the right people can be a challenge.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
We talked with Christina Hicks, the Chief Human Resources Officer at Eskenazi Health. She shares some of her secrets for finding and keeping the best of the best.
We are excited to hire the best and the brightest to take care of our patients in the city of Indianapolis. We hire in a variety of ways. You can go online to www.eskenazihealth.edu, and certainly during the pandemic, recruitment has changed. So not only are we looking for those active candidates that go online and apply, but we're also recruiting for passive candidates. So we have a talent sourcer, and all of our talent acquisition consultants scrape sites like LinkedIn and other places to find you and introduce you to Eskenazi Health and see if this is a place for you, and we want you to come and join our family here. Social media and technology have changed our landscape. We're using tools and techniques very differently than we've used in the past. So we have a tool called Altru, where our employees are able to give video testimonials about their work here at Eskenazi, and we use that to enhance the recruitment process, and we shine that on our talent acquisition network, and then job seekers are able to look at that and see if this would be a great fit for them. And there's no better recruitment than to be able to recruit with one of your own team members to tell about how wonderful Eskenazi Health is to work. Then we also utilize a program called a VIR program. So once you join our organization, you can participate in the very important referral program, which means you invite one of your friends that have similar backgrounds that may want to come and join our organization. And if you refer someone to our organization and they're hired, you can get bonuses. And so we want to make sure that you bring your friend with you and then also reward those people to come and work with us again. Retention is the key. So we know that once you get introduced to the culture of Eskenazi Health, you want to stay here. But certainly we have a strong benefit program. We offer tuition reimbursement. We offer medical support. We offer something as creative as pet insurance. So we definitely want to support our team members with rich benefits. And then we also have a lot of professional development. There's a training and development team here called the Institute for Professional Development. And once you come with us, you can continue to grow with us. You don't have to stay stagnant in your career, and take those courses internally to help sharpen your skills. As healthcare employers, we need to focus on growing our own. Focus on those entry-level persons that come in the door and see how you can cultivate your own talent. We have a program here called Career Pathways, where we take entry-level employees who decide they want to grow and stay with the organization. We'll train them on the job, and for a year they can grow into another professional role and earn additional income. We're also very knowledgeable about our frontline team members and how difficult it is given the economy. And so we were able to establish an $18 wage minimum in June of this past year to, again, support those frontline entry-level workers that are working very hard to take care of our patients and employees. The best thing about working for Eskenazi Health is the mission. Advocate, care, teach, and serve with a special emphasis on the vulnerable populations. The mission is why I joined this organization, and the mission is why I stay here. And I'll tell you, from day one, the mission is felt in every single place in this hospital. And so the mission is what unites us as a family, and the mission is what drives our patient care, and the mission is what brings our employees to work every day. And I think our quality outcomes really reflect the mission and the passion we have to take care of our employees and patients. One of the things that we value most is really having an employee population that represents the patient we serve. And so I'm very proud of our diversity recruitment. One of the programs that I'm very proud of is our HBCU internship program. This summer we hosted 12 interns from historically black colleges and universities, and they came and worked on site here. Last year was the first year we hosted that program, and we had 2 students, and one of those 2 students is now a full-time employee. So we use this program as a pipeline to develop talent. We also have a strong commitment to individuals with disabilities. We have a long-standing program called the Gregory S. Fairbach program, where we host college students with disabilities for summer internships, allow them to have meaningful internships, because we know that creates a solid plan to securing employment after you graduate. So we have hosted that program for many, many years and really have a model pilot for the entire nation. So those are just a couple of things that we do in the area of diversity recruitment. We have needs everywhere. Certainly your typical nurses. We have a strong need in our mental health division with clinicians. We have needs in physical therapy, respiratory therapy, our patient access. We have needs from our frontline greeters to come into the organization, pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, medical assistants. We have needs throughout the entire organization. So come and take a look at us at www.eskenazihealth.edu under the career section, and we have a place for you.
Up next, our industry focus this week looks at one of the nation's top minority newspapers. Leaders from the Indianapolis Recorder tell us how they compete and what the future holds for the iconic voice of the community. That's coming up next on Business Equity and Opportunity. Stay with us.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Today our industry focus turns to the newspaper business, and one in particular. It's been serving the African American community in Indianapolis for 127 years.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
Since 1895, the Indianapolis Recorder newspaper has been one of the country's premier African American newspapers. The vision from the beginning was to create a publication that would speak to and for the people. We talked to Brandon Perry, the new editor-in-chief, about the paper and its future.
I think the news industry as a whole is in a very exciting place, because with the new technology and the new opportunities to reach our readers and our viewers, the opportunities are limitless. So I think we're in a very exciting place. I think given the massive changes that are taking place and the massive challenges that we have in our city, we have an opportunity to be a forum for positive solutions. And I say that not only about the Recorder, but the news industry as a whole. We just all have to get into a place where we're continuing to have strong engagement with our community, because as far as the Recorder is concerned, this publication belongs to the people of this community. And it's their publication, and I'm sure that other news outlets, feel the same way. I think we all want to keep that community involvement strong, but also make sure we have strong revenue streams coming in so that we can continue to reach out to everyone who needs to be informed. Early on, it was very difficult for many news outlets, especially print outlets, some of whom struggled significantly. But I think now, 10, 15, 20 years later, most publications, print publications, including ours, have found a groove, so to speak. We are in a place where we have a rhythm, where we're comfortable engaging with our readers and with everyone through the digital platform. I believe it will broaden our readership because we still have a significant number of people who subscribe to the print edition, and we appreciate, all of them. And we still have the paper on stands. However, we have actually two new generations of readers since I've been in journalism who mostly receive their news through a digital platform, through social media and online. So we have to continue to develop ways to reach those audiences. And I think we do that by not just throwing information at them, but by also offering them an opportunity to engage with us and to share their thoughts and their concerns with the broader community. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are familiar with the classic concept of letters to the editor. Well, one thing I'd like to do as editor-in-chief is to work with our team to find a way that we can bring that back in a digital form. The Indianapolis Recorder does have an outstanding history of standing for positive change, and not only in Indianapolis, but also across the country. And we've been blessed. We've been honored with an opportunity to keep this publication going with the help of many people. And we've been here for more than a century. Moving forward, we would like to continue to build on that legacy and let people know, that we're here for them. We are looking forward to working with people in our community and our community partners to tackle a variety of different issues. And as editor, I know that we have a variety of different challenges, in this city. I would say the top three involve education, making sure that all of the children in this city have access to a quality education. Number two, reducing healthcare disparities, because there are still significant health problems involving heart disease, diabetes, certain forms of cancer that disproportionately affect the African American community and some other communities as well, but we want to continue to address that. Platforms and information that will help people with entrepreneurship, and we would like to definitely continue to address the issue of violence and public safety. And we know that our city leaders are doing various things and have various initiatives to address crime and to address the violence, along with our churches and other nonprofit organizations. But we need everyone. We need everyone. You know, we need us, we need other institutions, we need residents, you know, who may not even have a title or may not be a part of an organization, but who are as equally concerned, and develop concrete solutions to ensure that everyone, you know, not just the African American community, but everyone has an opportunity to live and thrive in a peaceful and positive way.
Up next on Business Equity and Opportunities, another great success story from one of our contributors who started her career as an intern and never left. We think her story may inspire you. Stay with us. I'm Scott Sanders. Thanks for watching this encore presentation of Business Equity and Opportunities. We hope you've learned some tips that'll help you start or grow your own business. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes or segments, watch us here every weekday or visit us at BEOshow.com. And don't forget, new episodes of Business Equity and Opportunities air every Sunday morning on WISH-TV, or you can stream it live at WISH-TV.com. Fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Watch Business Equity and Opportunities from WISH-TV.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Each week on Business Equity and Opportunities, we share a success story from one of our contributors that we hope will inspire entrepreneurs and small business owners to keep following their dreams.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Success Story.
This week we share a glimpse of the history of local ad agency Hirons and how Dina Hayworth, the Chief Operating Officer for Hirons, found her way into advertising. Now a 20-year veteran of advertising and public relations, Dina serves as an example of hard work and dedication and how it can help you grow within a company.
So my path through Hirons has been very interesting. I just celebrated my 22nd anniversary here. So when people ask what risks I've taken, I guess my risk is that I stayed. I found out about this career and this line of business through an internship that I had in college at a healthcare system on the south side of Indianapolis. We were invited as interns to help assess the advertising agency pitches that the health system was going through at that time to find a new agency of record. And as I experienced that, I thought, oh, this is what I want to do. I need to find this path for myself. And so through a friend from high school, actually, I was connected with Hirons, which at that point was headquartered in Bloomington, Indiana, and started there, really found myself in the right place at the right time with the right skill set. We were looking to build out our public relations practice more fully, and I actually started the same time as our now CEO, Dr. Jim Parham. He's been my boss for 22 years, which is another interesting wrinkle in my career. But at Hirons, we do different projects every day, substantial efforts on a campaign. So it's really like I've had 100 jobs in the 22 years that I've been here. So we were founded in 1978 by Tom Hirons. When he graduated from IU Bloomington, he put together a handful of clients and from there built the really successful business that we are today. That foundation that he set for us has benefited us. We innovated almost from day one. He opened offices in China in the 80s and 90s. We started our digital practice in the 90s before people really understood what the web and digital would even mean for our industry. We also delved heavily in the early 2000s in public relations as an area of practice that benefits us yet today, and have just really continued to push ourselves to make sure that we were bold in our thinking and able to meet all of our clients' needs as they evolved. So as Tom Hirons was thinking about what was next for him, there were lots of options on the table for us. We could be sold, we could merge with another entity that was much like us. And as we were exploring the options, we looked really carefully at the ESOP, which is an employee ownership program. So we had a plan to sell the company to the employees over a 10-year period. We actually accelerated that and did it in 7 years. So we are 100% employee owned now. It's been really great for our employee owners to build a different kind of wealth and invest in themselves as they build their career here at Hirons. So our mantra of be bold is something that we hope our employee owners are living out every day. We want to make sure that we're pushing for the best idea, not stopping for the first or the most obvious idea, and really taking chances to meet our clients' needs and continue to grow our business.
As always, thanks to our contributors who joined us for this episode of Business Equity and Opportunities. Hope you found this morning's show helpful, maybe inspiring. You can find out more information about what we do on our website, BE&Oshow.com. Each week, our 7 segments are designed to interest both business startups and any of you currently operating a small business. Topics always include new thoughts on getting started, how to access capital, running your business day to day, questions about your money, accounting and bookkeeping. We feature news and trends in this week in business, and we always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next Sunday morning at 10 here on WISH-TV for more insights into the world of small business with an eye toward diversity, equity, and opportunities. You can also stream the show live on WISH-TV.com and find content from all the shows to share on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. For even more, subscribe and listen to our BE&O podcast. It's part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. And sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get more valuable, up-to-date information. And we want to hear from you, too. If you have questions, you'd like to be part of our show, email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. Truly, we'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for watching.